Without any research, artwork tu mungkin nampak cantik je kot. It's only a beautiful painting, but it's not a quality work. Because beautiful is tak semestinya quality. Quality mungkin dari segi technical. Quality means beautiful and good in content. What actually you want to explain about your piece? What is the reason that you do any particular piece, any particular artwork? Okay, there's a few things that you need to do when you do a research. One is the subject you want to show, the subject you want to do, and once you get a subject, contohnya senang cerita perahu lah, some sketches yang itu belum masuk thought lagi tau. It's just apa nama ni, research about the images that you want to show into your blank four corner of your canvas. People never did before, no, tak ada. Semua orang dah buat, cuma kita reinvent the thing, kita redo, kita maybe based on kita punya.
Just for your information, I am an artist and I am also the organizing chairman for the gallery that I represent. Art exhibitions for many groups, for many people, including joint art shows between the different states in Malaysia and also between different countries. So it's also like a guided kind of exhibition. You go out of it, when the curator don't agree with what you do, sometimes the curator of course will reject you. Sometimes they reject you not because you don't conform to the idea, but because there are certain things that actually go against the idea. But artists are like that. They like to go against the waves, they like to go against the force, and that makes you an artist. Because when you don't do it, you become like subordinate to the request and demand of the people who wants you to do the show. So when you do that, it becomes insubordination, and that is when you lose your identity actually. Because once you start to conform to their wish, their demand, it's just like your wish is my command. And artists don't like that. Especially myself. I will try to go against the norm. Not the norm of doing things correctly, but the norm of seeing things differently. Artists must see things differently. There is no two artists that will see the same thing from one subject matter, for example. Therefore, with relationship to identity, whether it's national, or groups, or community, or individualistic need, there is always a problem, and there's always a solution to it. And that is, of course, the good thing, because that will force the artists to create something beyond their normal own standard. They will go deeper, they will try harder, and that will always produce good artwork.
Kerana menjemput saya kemari adik untuk mungkin berkongsi sedikit pengalaman yang pengerusi tadi telah menyentuh ya tentang it's about Alami One. Alami One sebenarnya is a kind of art, ya, boleh juga dikonsider sebagai art workshop ya, tapi berlaku di Gunung Kinabalu, Sabah. That is back to 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Dan kenapa kita relate, kenapa saya bawa ke sana ya, 2002 and Gumoism. Jadi kemungkinan besar there's a kind of relationship sebenarnya berlaku. Saya fikir yang mustahak di situ ialah first pertemuan sebenarnya. Pertemuan di antara it's a meeting of all artists from all around the world. Sama ada yang amateur ataupun professional artis dan sebagainya, dia working together in a place, sharing ideas, berkongsi pengalaman dan sebagainya. Dan di sini saya fikir itu juga mungkin akan berlaku dalam sehari dua ini. Jadi apa yang menarik di dalam pertemuan sebegini ialah bagaimana kita barangkali berkongsi pengalaman masing-masing. Because mungkin bukan semua di antara kita ni barangkali pelukis yang berpengalaman. Ya, mungkin ada yang mungkin baru 1 tahun, 2 tahun, mungkin ada yang sudah maybe become an artist for 5 to 10 years dan 30 tahun atau more than 30 years. Tapi I'm still searching, I'm still doing the artworks dan sebagainya, and I feel very, very active. Although I've already retired, but I'm still doing my works. I'm still moving around. I'm still searching for ideas, looking for books, browsing books to get more experience and so on. Okay, jadi saya fikir itu dalam konteks ini ya, dalam workshop yang sebegini, saya fikir adalah kesempatan yang paling baik. If you can share your knowledge ya masing-masing. For I think for maybe 3 or 4 years, and then after that I went to America for my master's degree. Now saya nak berkongsi pengalaman actually kepada pelukis-pelukis muda. At that particular time, saya sebenarnya tidak pandai berbahasa Inggeris. Tapi bagaimana saya boleh tembus ke Amerika? Itu satu yang menarik. Okay, itu satu yang menarik. Tapi mungkin juga Allah memang memberi saya kelonggaran barangkali ya. Okay, so walaupun bahasa Inggeris saya fail my bahasa Inggeris, but I managed to get through. Dia punya cara saya kena buka rahsia ini sekarang. Okay, and then I managed to get the graduate studies registrar, and then I told him that please send the I-20 form immediately. If you don't send it to me, my scholarship will be scraped off dalam masa yang terdekat. Jadi saya fikir dalam I think 2-3 hari selepas, I got the I-20 form. Saya isi and then brought to
commercial parts. It is exposure to the market through social media. This one. The other way to expose yourself to the world is through participation, like what we are doing now, in exhibitions, in anything art related. So these are two things. Now, how to project yourself so that people know who you are? The only word is consistency. Consistency in your style, consistency in your composition, in everything. All the principles of art must be there, but it must be yours, it must be you. You cannot say that, because today I'm influenced by something, so I must do this. Then you fall in love with another thing, the next day you fall in love with another thing. It's not like that. Yes, you can fall in love with it, but show to it your way of falling in love. Right? Show your way of how you relate yourself to it, because people are looking at artists who can consistently interpret ideas in their own personal manner, personal way. So that is, I think, is the answer to that question. And of course, giving up is a very common story among artists. Even I myself thought about giving up on art many years ago. I've been painting since 1986. A few times I thought of giving up on art because when somebody cannot understand my art and say, I think some students, some kids can just place colors and do that. You know, that kind of thing is part and parcel of artist's life. It is part of the challenge. So if you fall back, you are taking one step backward, and it will be very difficult to take another step forward. You will go back one step, you go static, and then you have to struggle to go forward. So don't let that hold you. People's perception of you is important. It is important because it helps to guide you. Curators' perceptions of your work when they discuss your work, whether to accept or not to accept your work, is critical, is very important.
Terlahir misalnya, bagaimana terlahir? Dia banyak cara. Salah satu idea lahir kerana dia apa yang dipanggil born, ataupun dia sudah terbina lama di dalam minda kita, and then suddenly at the age of maybe at the age of 18, tapi pada kita 6 tahun mungkin tidak, pada ketika kita 12 tahun belum tentu. Masa pada kita tidak dapat rationalize what is inside our head, and then after 18 years and as a painter pula, dan sebagai seorang pelukis, tiba-tiba you good ideas, and then spark from your head, and then oh, this is nice, I like it, I want to do it. Itu salah satu. Tetapi di dalam konteks pembelajaran ya, ini sudah berbeza. Sebab di dalam konteks pembelajaran, especially di universiti ataupun di sekolah menengah dan sebagainya, dia ada dua aspek penting di situ. Satu yang di art bersifat subjektif satu, tapi di art juga bersifat objektif. Jadi yang intellectualize itu dia bersifat objektif. Walaupun barangkali bukan satu campur satu jadi dua, tetapi contohnya ya, kalau kita secara rasionalnya yellow plus blue equal to green. Semua orang tahu. Tetapi kalau kita melihat pokok, ya, kita melihat pokok di sana, dia 100 of greens, ada 100 green. Jadi secara intelektualnya, macam mana kita nak mendapat 100 hijau itu? Itu mesti belajar. Tetapi kalau if you feel that's the green that you want, that's it. You just mix the yellow and in the yellow and the blue, and it's called the green. Oh, ambil saja yang hijau tu, cat hijau. Just itu yang datang daripada apa yang kita rasa dan sebagainya kan. Dia yang paling asas ya, paling asas. Contohnya if you gunakan if you use a brush and you mix color, okay, dua warna lah. Of course, tengah mixing mesti dua. Okay, sekali lagi, maybe black color and white. But no, this is too easy. Maybe green and red maybe. Okay, merah dan hijau. Okay, what kalau kita secara can be brown. Okay, can be brown. Okay, now sekarang saya menyoal satu saja. Apabila kita memasak kari, if you kita memasak kari ya, jadi mesti ada minyak yang panas dulu, and then maybe kari dicampur dengan cili whatever, and then selepas cili minyak dah panas, baru kita gaul, betul and then baru dia nampak aromanya naik, dia akan berdesing, dia punya bunyi akan berdesing, dan kita rasa oh, this is good. Pada saat itu saja, pada ketika minyak panas dan kari kita bubur, dan dia akan naik aromanya dan kita terhidup bau. Okay. Yang satu lagi, the amateur cook, dia bubur minyak masih sejuk, dia ambil minyak kari, letak, kari tak berdesing. That means itu adalah petanda bahawa dia bukanlah seorang cook yang profesional, tapi mungkin dia ada satu cara lain. masak kari pada ketika minyak yang sedang sejuk. Bubur ni saya nampak lah di Laos ada, di Korea ada yang minyak sejuk dan dia bubur tepung yang sedang diguli tu. Tapi bila dia masak cantik. Itu pun itu juga ya. Ini adalah satu. Tetapi secara ilmiahnya memang tak ada jawapan yang konkret. Cuma bila kita campur warna, misalnya kuning campur hijau, mesti jadi hijau yang kuning dan biru mesti jadi hijau yang betul-betul hijau. There is no such thing as bila kita sapu masih ada kuning, biru, hijau di situ, ada 3. Sedangkan sebenarnya 2 warna yang dicampur itu dia mesti menjadi satu. Itu sebenarnya memang itu kerja seorang.